Kristen Balboni here with Panthers offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Joe, we are getting to know the coaching staff a little bit better, and we figured you'd be a great place to start. So thanks for chatting with me.
I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Okay, so obviously everyone knows what you do on the football field, especially after last season with LSU. But I think I only know two things about you off the field. So I was hoping you could confirm them for me. First, big Office fan, right?
Huge Office fan.
Okay. Second, this is something I heard from someone you know. Is it true that you're a big candle guy?
I'm not a big candle guy. I say that while I literally have a candle right next to me. I'm not
So
a big
I
candle guy, but I do like, when I am relaxing or if I'm sitting there in the office, I will light a candle. So I'm not sure who you got that information from, but
I'll tell
uh,
you. So we were talking to George Munoz draft night when we were doing our Panthers draft show, and of course we were talking about Joe Burrow. But kind of at the end, I was like, "Look, this is my first year working with Joe Brady. If someone wanted to get on his good side, is there like a candy, a baked good? Just trying to get the info." And he started laughing, and he was like, "Get him a candle. Like bring a candle to his office." But he said it, and it made a lot of sense. First of all, I'm a candle person too, but he was like, he's in his office all the time. And of course, now your office is at home. And he was like, so, I mean, you're in there for so many hours, you want it to smell nice.
without a doubt, my go-to is the lavender and cedarwood.
Lavender
That's
and sea.
that's
I
that's
would
the
not
go.
have, that was going to be my next question, of course, which was, what kind of candle. I didn't know I would not have put you down as a lavender guy, but I like it.
I wouldn't have either, but it's done the trick. It's worked, so I'm going to keep rolling with it.
You like what you like. I like that. I'll remember that for the future when we're finally allowed to get back to the stadium. I do want to ask you though. So you played wide receiver in college, but your first job was linebackers coach at William and Mary. How did that come about?
Well, I just was fortunate when I got done playing. One of the defensive assistants actually took a job at another school, and so the only opportunity on our coaching staff at William Mary was a defensive coach. And so I remember walking into, that senior spring. I was just looking for jobs, trying to figure out, how to get my foot in the door in this profession. And I went to the head coach and was like, "Hey, I'd love to be considered for this defensive job." And he kind of told me, Coach Laycock told me, I'll never forget. He was like, "I've never hired somebody straight out of coaching." And I told him, I think I'd be a great first one. So that didn't go well, but I had some guys, that backed me, and so eventually ended up hiring me. Definitely going from the wide receiver room to the defense side of the ball, from linebacker coach, it definitely was an adjustment, but um, I wouldn't be the coach I am today if I didn't coach on the defense side of the ball. So I tell everybody, young coaches all the time, if you want to get in, if you're an offensive guy, start on the defense because it will really open your mind to football.
I imagine that it would. I also wanted to ask when you were in college, I saw this when I was reading about you. You graduated from William and Mary with a double major. So process management and consulting, along with kinesiology and health sciences. What is process management? Because I don't know.
That's a great question. I think everybody that actually majored in it had the same question. It was in the business school. I'm a big, I ask a lot of questions. So if I didn't get into coaching, I didn't really have a backup plan, but I always, the consulting aspect of things was something that was enticing to me. And, it's all about computers and Excel and data. And, that was something that just brought me to it. I'm not a computer geek, but I love Microsoft Excel. I like, that aspect into it. And so just project management, data, communication, consulting, that was something that went into it. So I wasn't a finance guy. And so I kind of went towards that direction.
But it does sound like, I mean, the majors that you picked go pretty well together in terms of coaching. Did you know that you wanted to be a coach then? Like, when did you decide this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I mean, if I probably would have told my parents I wanted to be a coach prior to William Mary, they probably wouldn't have sent me to William Mary. But look, I obviously I'm like every other football player. I wanted to be an NFL football player, and so when I realized in college that wasn't going to be a real life scenario, I decided, hey, I'm going to try to be the best I can, and I want to stay around football. So let's be a football coach. So even while I was playing, I was trying to pick up bits and pieces. And my dad was a coach all growing up, and so football and just the coaching, the element to it was always a big part of me. And so I knew I wanted to be around football. So regardless of having a double major, I knew I wanted to be a coach.
Well, it turned out pretty well for you. Has it sunk in, like what you guys watching what you did with LSU and what that entire team did last year was just you arguably the best college football team ever. Will that ever sink into you? Have you been able to kind of step back and look at what that season was? Because I know it's been such a whirlwind for you.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't. It was kind of a question that was asked all along through the process, like just, hey, how's the season going? And you don't really have an opportunity to take a step back and actually appreciate it and take it all in. But then, we get hired here immediately right after. Like I never even saw the trophy. I never was a part of a championship. I wasn't a part of any of that stuff. And so, to me, it was like the season never ended. I went straight from there to here. And so, look, you hear Coach Rule always talk about the process mindset. I'm not a goal oriented guy. And so just winning the championship to me was part of the process. And kind of we just moved on to, in my mind, it's like, okay, now it's Carolina Panthers. So I haven't even had a second to actually think about all that stuff that actually went on, because you're
On
just
to
trying
the
to find a
next.
way to win here. And so but no, I'm definitely, it was an incredible experience. And, at some point I'll be able to sit back and appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, it has been. You've gone from one thing immediately to the next. At some point, we got to get you with the trophy, though. I think that's
I saw it raised. I saw it raised on the podium, but I never touched it. Never like it was kind of like you win, you go in the locker room, you give some hugs, you head home or you head back to the hotel, and then I felt like I was in Carolina pretty shortly after, and so yeah.
and we're glad to have you, no doubt about that. You mentioned though that it's not about the end result for you and for Coach Rule, it's about the process. What is the process and that mentality that you're trying to bring to this team?
I think it's about, to me, I think there was a quote that Coach utilized, and I'm gonna butcher it a little bit, but it was if you lay a brick every single day, don't think about building a brick wall right now. Lay a brick every single day, and eventually you look up and there'll be a brick wall. And so I think so oftentimes, we sit there as a coach and as a player and just humans, that we all just think that there's an end goal and that enough is enough, or I'm just working to a championship. But when you get a championship, are you done? Are you satisfied? And so to me, I think as long as we just approach that mindset that trying to get better every single day, eventually that brick wall will be made. And so, that's kind of the mindset that I've always had. And so that's why, having an opportunity to work for Coach Rule has been incredible, because I feel like from that vision standpoint, we share the same views.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me, letting me and all the rest of the fans get to know you a little bit better. And I will not forget lavender candles.
Lavender candles in the office, and you can't go wrong.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe.
I appreciate you.